Hi there. We're talking about future studies through a business school. And the very first question that comes up is, how do you fund it? Well, there are ways of doing this, and you don't have to pay for it all yourself. But not many people know about the different funding opportunities that are available. So let's look at it like this. You graduate and you start your first career job. And look at all the demands on your pocket. You start working, you buy a car, then you buy a faster car. Then you rent some decks, and then somebody tells you to buy them. Then you have to buy all the toys that you've promised yourself while you were studying. So there's an iPad, an iPhone, and all the other stuff before you've even bought an iron for your shirt. And then in the first 10 years after graduation, we double the problem. We find a spouse, and then we get into that magical world of shacked up, knocked up, married, divorced, in-laws, outlaws, and the whole lot more. And that, of course, all translates into a potential debt trap. When graduates look at this, they say, you must be joking. I cannot fit advancing my career and further studies into my lifestyle. They stop studying and they never start again. That's why it's important to look at how your career is going to plan out. And, more importantly, how you're going to pay for it. So, when one looks at postgraduate study, there are various alternatives. There's the full-time option, which is nice if you can afford it and you have the time, but very few do. There is also the exciting opportunity of part-time study, or what we call work-based learning. Now, this has advantages. Obviously, one can earn while you learn. It also helps in your career progression. Very importantly, it gets your employer involved in your future studies. And it brings your experiences while working into the classroom, which is a whole different world to just doing it by the book. Ideally, students shouldn't be paying for their postgraduate education, particularly if they are relying on work-based learning. We are asking our employers to get involved in the deal. We are putting together a new deal. In the past, we said, students, your studies are up to you. You must pay for them, you must make the time for them, and all the rest of it. This now advances. We need to now create universities which work with your career and create sustainable business schools where there are people coming in from their jobs to continue their studies. We also need to get employers involved. They have access to the capital that is needed to advance your career and to give you the time to finish your studies. And then there are the government subsidies within the skills development programs that are very useful. Those can all be put together to create a pinwheel that interlocks to create a financial solution for your further studies after graduation. Now, it starts off with a provision within the Income Tax Act, Section 10(1)(q). Now, this provision says that generally where you receive a fringe benefit while you are employed, you'll be taxed on it. But it creates an exception for the employee where the employer structures a bursary into your employment package. There is a way to do this, which is shown on our business school website, criticalthought.co.za. This reduces the cost of postgraduate study by between 25 and 41%. At no cost to the employer. But there's more. There are employer incentives. What we used to have was bursaries were only granted as part of a recruitment exercise. Today, bursaries are granted to advance your studies and promote retention of staff. So, when one goes into the B-BBEE scorecard, what we get is a separate chapter that is devoted to advancing skills development. It's very important for your employer. It's a cornerstone of B-BBEE, and what we get with that is if they don't comply with it, well, then they get their overall scorecard marked down. If one minds into skills development, we see that there is a separate paragraph which deals with the spend of an employer where they are advancing skills development. This is a critical aspect of the BEE scorecard, and employers cannot ignore it. It's good to bring it to your employer's attention. So just by accommodating a student's further development, an employer is scoring points towards the overall BBBEE scorecard. Then it goes even further. The SETA program collects massive levies from employers, and these are included in the Pivotal Grant program. What it means is that where employers get involved in the future studies of their employees, they can collect a subsidy, in the case of an MBA, of up to 110,000 Rand. This makes a fantastic contribution towards the overall costs of postgraduate study. So what we are saying is that postgraduate education has changed. We are needing all players involved to get people to continue their studies to the higher degrees, where they provide the effort and government and the employer provides the finances.